Hi, everyone. Today we're going inside the full-time MBA at Canada's Smith School of Business. And I'm Paula Lem. I'm executive editor of Poets and Quants, incoming, I should say, on week 2 currently. And today we'll be talking about what differentiates the Smith MBA experience. So we're going to hear from 3 excellent full-time MBA students, and they'll be talking about what drew them to the program, how the collaborative learning model works in practice, the nitty-gritty, and then life inside and also outside the classroom, from clubs to community, and how all that has influenced their professional goals and time at Smith. So today we've got 3 panelists. We've got Ahona Raisa, Jade Farr, and Ezekiel Olani. So I would love if you could go around briefly, telling us where you're from, and a fun fact about yourself. So, Ahona, do you want to start us off?
Sure. Thank you for giving me the floor. A always gets me going at first. So, hi, I'm Ahona Raisa. Originally, I'm from Dhaka, Bangladesh, and my journey has taken me to Calgary to study economics at the University of Calgary. After that, I've lived in Toronto, and now I'm here in Kingston to finish my undergrad at Queen's University, the Smith School of Business. Professionally, I've worked in the oil and gas industry right out of my undergrad in economics. I was at TC Energy, Suncor, and Trans Mountain. And right after that, it is during that time I realized I wanted to do an MBA to grow up the ladder, and that's what brings me here. A fun fact about me is that I am an avid foodie and I have a food blog. So far I've been to 300 plus restaurants reviewing food, different cuisines, and also getting to know different cultures through my food blogging journey.
Sounds great. Jade?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having us. My name is Jade. I'm from Sydney, Nova Scotia, so in Atlantic Canada. And a fun fact about me is that I'm a plant mom. So I have a bunch of plants in my apartment, and now that the summer is just around the corner, I think I'm going to be buying some more plants.
What's your favorite plant? What plants are you on the lookout for?
I love the alocasia plants. So I have 3 different plants from that particular family. Yeah.
Very nice. And Ezekiel?
Okay, thank you, Paula. Hi, everyone. My name is Ezekiel Olani. I'm originally from Nigeria, and prior to coming to Queens for my MBA, I worked in the development finance sector, specifically at the International Finance Corporation. And I've also spent about 7 years plus in the finance industry. And now I'm at Queens, getting new perspective, meeting new people, just exploring and seeing how to strengthen my leadership qualities and get ready for the next phase of my career here in Canada. I'm happy
Yeah,
to be here.
excellent. And for each of you, I'd love to hear about what motivated you to pursue the MBA, and also, why Smith of all places? Ezekiel, do you want to start us off this time? We'll go in reverse order.
Yes, sure. So, I mean, as someone who already amassed about 7 year plus experience in the finance industry, I thought I wanted to move just from being an analyst, doing evaluating transactions and all of that, but I wanted to move into something more strategic where I'm able to lead transactions, build, work with the teams in terms of allocation, making decisions in terms of capital allocation right now, and not just doing analysis, evaluating transactions. So I thought of the best way to do that, which the MBA seemed to be like a good path for me to gain further exposure, the leadership and quality decision making, skills. So which was why I decided to pursue an MBA. And particularly Smith stood out for me because while I was doing my research, I saw that the Smith program was heavily based on the learning approach, team-based learning approach, and it seemed to reflect or mirror what is obtainable in the real business world, where you typically work with others. So I mean, leadership is really an individual sport, so it's just kind of simulated the kind of experience that I would be getting post MBA. So that was something that was specifically attractive to me. Also, in terms of the career opportunities, I saw that Queen's Career Services ranked number one in Canada, and this also kind of enticed me to choose Smith as my MBA school.
Yeah. Jade, you're smiling,
I'm
agreeing with
smiling
some of
like,
those
I
reasons.
know, he's taking all my reasons. It's not fair. Um, I would say for me, for the MBA specifically, like I come from an engineering background, so I do have that traditional of wanting to diversify my skill set while having a technical background and now a business background. So that MBA would really give me that pie overview for the skill set. And then, like Ezekiel said, for Queen specifically, it's really about the people and the community that the administration team has given us throughout the entire process, but also it continued through the entire program. And we're still in the program currently, but I've noticed that it really has not changed specifically with the admin, with the career coaching. Like our coaches are an amazing team. They do a great job, a phenomenal job. Um, and the program being a 1 year program too. So for people that are in tight in their, I guess, in their careers for a long time, the 1 year program was that perfect balance of completing graduate studies without compromising that existing momentum that you have in the workforce. And that was really important to me because I am still with my employer at Lockheed Martin, Canada. And then for me personally, growing up in a rural community, I really enjoyed the slower life pace and the small town feel. So I felt like Kingston was the perfect fit. And I don't know if you guys know, but Kingston does have a rich military history as well. So being in the defense sector and knowing a lot of coworkers and colleagues that have been to Kingston and had really positive experiences also led me to the Kingston area. So overall, I would say it was really just a great experience, both with the admin staff, but then also hearing it from different people in my network for Kingston specifically.
Ahona?
I echo what both of you said, and now you both stole my points. But what motivated me to pursue my MBA, similar to Ezekiel, I was working as a business analyst and then as a senior business analyst in the energy field. So a lot of my job was about solving complex business problems, redesigning workflows. But I realized what I enjoyed the most was the facilitation sessions or stakeholder engagement. And I knew that I wanted to work more with people and be in like leadership rooms. And what would really give me a leg up to be there was an MBA. At the same time, I saw my husband pursuing his MBA last year only, and I saw the power of an MBA. It wasn't like undergrad where it was just theoretical classroom based learning. It was very hands-on and very practical. That's when I knew I wanted to do an MBA. MBA specifically, not any other masters, because traditionally econ undergrads tend to do econ masters, but I wanted to have more of that human interaction, which is why actually I thought Smith was a great place to be because Smith has a team-based learning, like both of my colleagues have mentioned before. And it's not something that's just up on their website. We see it every day now that we're like 4 months into the program. That's why I was applying for Smith. And then during the whole admissions process, it's the kind of care and support that I received from the admissions team, especially Jeff Koons. He was there through and through last year while I was applying. And you could tell, like, it's not just that first point of interaction where they're showing all the care. It's throughout the year, throughout every email thread, every time, like, you had a question, they would invite you to come to Kingston, see things forward, connect you to, like, past students from Queens. That kind of care is what really made Smith my top choice. And yeah, definitely the career component as well. They have a really good program for career placements.
Well, that's a definitely a really sterling endorsement right there. But yeah, it strikes me that, you had a really useful kind of window into what the MBA would be like, given that your husband was already doing one. So you saw the prequel, right? You were able to observe off the sidelines. Have your has the MBA been quite similar to your expectations, given that you were already sort of, clued into to what it would be like?
I would say no, because school to school it differs. My husband went to Schulich and I'm at Smith, and the culture is different in both places. One thing that caught me by surprise after I started the MBA was how long 3-hour classes can actually be. So that was a challenge and an adjustment for me. Sitting for like I'm somebody who moves around quite a lot. I can't sit in one place. So having to sit in a class for 3 hours, physically, it's a lot. And even being present, like mentally present for 3 hours, that was an adjustment in the MBA classrooms. Because like in my head, I'm like, okay, we're at work for 8 hours, like of the day. 3 hours classes wouldn't feel like a stretch, but it's different because you fully need to be engaged for those 3 hours that you're in class. And I kind of had to navigate my way around. I figured the way to stay awake and alert and be present was listen and ask questions. Um, yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I feel you there. I think just sitting through an hour and a half film at the movie theater is hard enough, right? Never mind having to do, engage actively and have your brain
Yeah.
on for 3 hours, and sustain attention. Any surprises, Ezekiel, Jade, or did the MBA match up largely with kind of what you were expecting going into it?
So I expected it to be academically rigorous and tasking, but which it is currently. It has been like very um, movie. So, but I think one thing it has also helped me with is now I'm better at time management. I have like multiple schedules. I only do not have to manage my own calendar, but I also have to manage other people's calendar in terms of my teammates, other extracurricular activities I'm into. So I kind of get better with managing multiple priorities right now. So I think that's one thing that I've learned to do. Also working with people, communicating effectively or more effectively now, because you need to like give feedback, talk to people. You're unable to meet up with a meeting. You need to communicate with them effectively rather than just being an individual. You're just taking care of your own project. So you have like accountability partners right now. So it's been very a huge pressure in terms of development.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll piggyback off of that. I would say the choose your own adventure. We heard that during the orientation week. And at first, I didn't really know what they meant. And now, I guess a few months later, I'm like, oh, wow, I get what Jeff was saying. There's just so many opportunities that the program has to offer, whether that be through clubs, societies, career coaching, team coaching, executive coaching, external opportunities. And it's really about honing in on your intention with the program and choosing your adventure, and making the most out of that year in the program.
Yeah. What's your adventure been, Jade, if you could name one?
The adventure has been a lot of fun. I've really taken advantage of the career coaching, so I make a conscious effort to meet with my career coach every week. And I know we'll talk about this later on, but I have gotten involved with society and clubs on campus as well. So combining that together, as well as getting together with some of my classmates once in a while, has really made the adventure very meaningful.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, let's talk about, adjustments and challenges. So, um, I'm curious, what's been a sort of learning or growth experience for each of you in this program? Obviously, you're 4 months in, right? So you're kind of halfway through, more or less. What's kind of been something you've had to change along the way? Anyone want to take this one first?
Can try my best to go
Sure.
first. Um, so I think I had mentioned this earlier, being from Atlantic Canada, and I'm the only person from my class from Atlantic Canada. So I think one of the challenges was relocating to Kingston and having again that momentum in the workforce, and then uprooting your life and moving to a new town, and then also leaving the workforce is a challenge. And there's a lot of sacrifices to that, and obviously you have these conversations with your people and your network to really understand, is this the right fit for you? And I think those are really important conversations to have, because this program is a commitment. Obviously, I made a wonderful choice for myself. I'm so happy I'm here. But it is a challenge, I would say, in that beginning portion of doing that relocation, and then also understanding the commitment and the sacrifices that you're going to make over that year, to be fully immersed in the program and take advantage of all the opportunities that it has.
I echo Jade because I'm having to do a long distance marriage with my husband. He's in Toronto and I'm in Kingston. But I think that's not the worst part because we've done Dhaka and Canada before. For me, I would say the biggest adjustment and challenge was when I came into the MBA, like I knew that 9,000 people applied to Smith and we were only a class of 57. So definitely the class has some really, really, really smart people. And I thought like I would always have to like spend the extra hours studying all by myself. I thought it was going to be a solo journey. Like I knew it was team based, but for the exams that you have to give, for the assignments that you have to do, I thought it was going to be a lot of, okay, you just read, 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 practice, 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 like give it all your time solo. But I love the collaborative environment in the classroom where everyone's just there to help each other. You just have to be comfortable enough to ask the questions and collaborate. And that's something I've learned to navigate through as I'm going. And also, one other thing that I learned through this is that during high stress moments, it's very helpful to have a team to fall back on. Like it's good to build that team morale and team ethic and to be able to divide the workload gets more done than how much you can get done alone. Like I know sometimes some of us are perfectionists and we want to do things our own way. But if we hone in on everybody's skills, I think we always end up with better and quicker, more efficient outcomes. That's something that's been a growth experience for me, just to leverage everybody else's strengths to get what we want.
Absolutely. And uh, Ezekiel, has that been your experience as well?
Oh, yes. So, I mean, as someone who just recently came to Canada, living in Canada for the first time, first thing I had to deal with was the weather. I mean, the winter is brutal in Kingston, but I think I've done really well with, I was able to manage that. But more importantly, I think is the pace of the program and the intensity. I mean, as someone who had some control with my schedule while I was working in, in the corporate space, I knew what I was going to do the next day. But having not just the classwork now, but also with regards to group teamwork, extracurricular activities. It required a different level of agility. So, which I mean, I struggled a bit, but I think having been more familiar with my teammates now, I think I'm more comfortable with how I kind of relate with them, and I know I can depend more on them now as relative to beginning where I was still kind of independent, still trying to gauge who and who I hear. Everyone is extremely smart. I mean, people have different opinion. We've come from different background, different cultures. So right now, I think I'm much more comfortable with everyone, and I think I'm drawing, support from everyone, and we're all exchanging ideas and delivering our best work.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great to hear that, and I think you've already all touched on the next question in your answers. But tell me, how would you describe that classroom experience at Smith, and in particular the team learning model, being part of this diverse cohort? I feel like Ezekiel, th this is something that you've just been talking about, right? That people from different backgrounds, you're working together. I think Ahona, you said, getting to kind of rely on different people, right? Is sometimes you're used to doing work off your own back and, you know, wanting to take a lead on things. Yeah, Ezekiel, do you want to start that one off for us?
Yes, so I'm going to describe the Smith classroom as a highly engaging environment. Obviously, very diverse set of people from different walk of life, different professional background, different functions. So you come into the class expecting to hear about different perspective about a topic, and I think that's the very valuable aspect that I cherish about the classroom. And it's different from traditional lecture-based teaching, where I mean, you just come to class, you listen, and then you go. I mean, people contribute a lot. You learn from different perspective. Most times, you break into your team room to solve a problem. You challenge each other respectfully, and then you come out with very different perspective and very good solutions that you never thought about before, and which is one of the enriching point value of the Smith MBA program. So I would say the program is, I mean, the team-based learning is one of the core valuable perspective, which is very, for me, that's stood out for me, helped me in exploring new perspective, learn new culture, different way of communicating, being respectful, and all of that. Just being open to fresh ideas, which is also helping me grow as an individual, as also in my professional journey.
Yeah, and I'd love to hear some examples of kind of those moments of learning, a meaningful moment that you've had as part of the Smith community, Jade, and then Ahona.
I was going to bring up culture night. I'm kind of switching the topic here. But every year they organize a culture night, and it's really an opportunity for the entire class to celebrate each other's cultures, and differences. And I was so surprised by how many people attended. Not only our class, but also the faculty. All of our program staff attended, and it really just, again, goes to show how much they really care about their students. And then the diverse amount of food we had, it was delicious. And even we had a talent contest, or not contest, concert, and everyone participated with different dances or comedy shows or just something that they wanted to show to the class. And I felt like that was a meaningful moment outside of the classroom setting where you again really get to know your classmates and celebrate each other in different ways. Um, and it's again bringing together that Smith community, I would say, for sure.
I'm glad you touched on food as well, because the first question that popped into my mind was, oh, was there food?
So
Yes,
much.
that sounds excellent. Ahona?
I that is definitely one of my top highlights too, Jade. Just Smith community is so strong. I was actually very lucky to be one of the organizers for the cultural event, which was a stem of what I'll speak about was my most meaningful moment. This year, we founded a new club called the Smith Impact Club, which is all about community leadership and impact. And I was very lucky to be elected president for that club. And one of the club initiatives was Cultural Night alongside SEC, which is the Student Executive Council for Smith. But um, a meaningful moment like it for me is actually being able to lead such an like impact and purposeful club, which is so intentional about not just creating benefits for you. Like in an MBA, we're all here to land that next role that we want career-wise. But as future leaders, what do we owe to the community? And that's one thing I get to do day to day, being part of this club and being in the leadership team. So definitely, Cultural Night was one of them. We organized Smith an Eid brunch for our class. That was very fun too. And last month, we went for a Women's Network Summit to Caledonia at a golf course with some of the ladies, and we're organizing another summit in Toronto. So just being a part of this club and empowering more future leaders not to grow in their profession just by themselves, but to build opportunities for people around you. I think that's been the most meaningful moment for me so far.
Mm, absolutely. Giving back and
Yeah.
doing stuff. It's outside of the classroom. Obviously,
Yes.
it's not just about learning in the classroom, right?
Totally.
Um, have you gotten involved in clubs, events, kind of out extracurricular things? What stood out for you?
Yeah, so I am also involved in the community. I'm the chair of the Smith MBA National Case Competition. So we're very excited to organize this event in the fall of 2026. Last year was the first year that they hosted the event, and I was so excited when I had the opportunity to chair this event this year. So I'm looking forward to it. We're going to bring together top MBA students across Canada to discuss a specific case challenge, a national-wide challenge. Um, so we're in the early development phases right now on this project, but I'm really excited to see the outcome. I have a team of around 10 people, and I know a lot of people in our class are really interested in consulting. So I'm very hopeful to have high engagement. And yeah, stay tuned. That's all I can say for now.
Sounds exciting. This is a real world challenge that you're looking at
Mhm.
and studying, right?
Yeah, and I'm really excited to be able to bring in different stakeholders too. So give the students the opportunity to, yes, compete in the case, but then also who can I bring in to add value to their experience, whether that be consultants and general consulting firms, but also depending on the case concept, different industry stakeholders as well. So it'll be a blend of surprise. I can't say too
Great.
much.
And Ezekiel, what sort of things have you been getting involved in?
Yeah, for me, I think it's been a lot. I've surprised myself. So I'm on the Student Executive Council as the External Relations Director. So in this role, I'm serve as like a bridge between the class as to other external parties, alumni, corporate partners, as well as the Career Services Center. So I think recently we secured like a brand sponsorship deal for the class. So we bought some items for our sporting activities like electrolytes just to support the class in case we want to go for sporting activities. We have like electrolytes from an alumni company. So also setting up uh, class initiatives like Bite and Insight, which is like an initiative where we invite leaders in different industries to come to the class and have like a 1 hour engagement, a relaxing engagement with the class where people can ask questions, learn from the career journey of these individuals, and also seek out for mentorship or advice just to help the class be ready for what is to come in terms of recruitment, also supporting networking initiatives of everyone. So I'm also involved in clubs like the finance club as well as the consulting club. So another way I'm also participating is the Queen's University Alternative Asset Fund, called QUAF. So this is a platform where students can gain real life experience in terms of investing real funds in different asset classes, be it equity, funds of fund, fixed income securities. So all of these points have been very valuable for me and it has diversified my experience, my MBA experience, and it's been very enriching for me.
Finance club sounds particularly useful. I think I could probably use that, so sign me up. Um,
So,
and so uh, the other thing, you know, obviously we've been talking about what you've been doing in the program, um, but obviously you're kind of getting to this midway point and looking ahead to the next step. So how has this program supported your career goals and then helped you navigate various professional opportunities in Canada? I mean, and I should start by saying I assume you're all looking for jobs in Canada after you graduate. Is that right? So that
Yeah.
sounds, yes. Okay, great. Jade, do you want to kick us off for that one?
Yeah, I would definitely say I'm in a unique position right now. So I am staying with my employer while I'm in the program and will be returning to my employer. But I will say, regardless of what your situation is, the program is extremely helpful for your career goals. Not only the career coaches, but also professors. I remember a few months ago, I had reached out to one of our professors and I had asked him to set up a one-on-one chat. And I remember leaving that meeting feeling really refreshed and reminded of my intention behind coming to the program and what my career goals were. And I think circling back to what I said earlier about choosing your own adventure and being so many different opportunities, sometimes that noise, right? It can get there when everyone's doing different things and trying to choose your own path that's right for you. But having professors and, of course, the career coaches there to support you in that navigating path has been really helpful in my career goals. And then, in terms of professional opportunities as well, if you choose to do professional designations, I know they are aware that that exists, and there are different courses that can support that. So, one of them that comes to mind is the Project Management Professional PMP designation. And Queen's does have their MBA program, does have a course, Project Management. And that course itself, the credits will go towards that designation if you choose to do that designation. So depending on if that's something that you want to do, that's there for you as well. So I guess I'm in a unique situation, not necessarily where I need to be going and networking, but they also have that as well. And I'm sure the others can speak to that. We do go to Toronto regularly, and have a lot of networking opportunities, and that's extremely helpful. And honestly, the whole Smith helps Smith, I would say, is a big thing you'll hear a lot, and it's really true. If you reach out to any alumni, whether that be through LinkedIn, through an in-person networking event. They genuinely want to help each other out. And that does support all of our career goals. And it gives us that opportunity when we leave, to pave the path for upcoming students and be there for them as well. So I guess returning that favor in the years to come.
Mm. Yeah, and I saw you smile a bit, nod along there, Ahona. Is that also your experience?
Yes, Smith helps Smith is such a thing. Like, I have never seen another phrase live up to it so much as Smith helps Smith. I would say there are so many aspects that that Smith or the program touches on in supporting career goals. Number one, we have two kinds of coaches. So, an executive coach and a career coach. The executive coach, we actually have three. So, team coach, career coach, and executive coach. But the two that are very helpful in supporting career goals are executive coaching and career coaching. So, executive coaching is all about personal development, which is very important when you're navigating like through your professional opportunities. But more so, the career coach actually helps you to discover what your career potentials are, what your career strengths are and weaknesses are. So you have to do like a careers and leadership discovery assessment in order to figure out where your strengths lie, areas and industries where you'd be a good fit at. And then the coach really gives you like a brief summary report and walks you through it. And the coach also tries to connect you with previous Smith alumni or industry connections that he has to let you actually have a touch and feel of what it would be like post MBA to land one of those roles. I found that incredibly helpful. Number two is like Jade mentioned, we have a lot of like sessions to help us with our career. So we have career treks, we call it, to Toronto. I know people find it very misleading whenever I say, oh, I have a trek. They think I'm going on a hike. Coming from Alberta, that's the first thing they assume. But no, these are career treks, which are kind of like networking events hosted at our Smith Toronto facility, where employers come from different companies which are top choices of our class. And then we really get the chance to hear firsthand their experience, how to get into those industries, what do interview processes look like. Um, we also have something called just-in-time hiring at Smith, where industry professionals come to Smith and there's a just-in-time hiring that goes on. Aside from that, regularly from the CAC, which is the Career Advancement Center at Smith, we have resume workshops, tutorials, cover letter tutorials, and these aren't just like any other webinar or tutorial where you just chime in and get everything from that half an hour. There's actually pre-work that we need to do before we go into any of these sessions. And the career coaches are very helpful. Like before the event, if it's a resume workshop, 2 or 3 weeks in advance, we'll have to start working on our resumes. And then our career coach will actually review it and give you feedback like as the workshop like approaches. And then during the workshop, you're there with like something like with a prototype, let's say it, to work on and to get feedback on. So I find that very helpful where everything is very intentional with career goal support.
Mm. And another thing too, you're just talking about the CAC centers. We also have the Distinctly Consulting and the
Yes.
finance program as well. And I think Ezekiel, you're a part of the finance program, and I'm a part of we're a part of the Distinctly Consulting program, but that's also a great opportunity for students that are interested in consulting and finance. And they host extra sessions outside of the CAC and outside of courses to really focus in on what consulting would look like and prepare individuals to their consulting roles. I don't know, Hona, am I missing anything else specifically for
No,
distinctly consulting?
thanks for putting that in. I'll also add something to what Jade said about the PMP. There's another certification called the Certificate in Social Impact. So if you, after you finish your core, like you're already done building up some of the courses which are required to finish that like certificate, you don't need any additional classes or like any additional hours in terms of academic rigor to put in for that certification. You just need to do a 30-hour community impact project to avail that certificate. So that's one thing students could look into in terms of an additional skill set throughout or certificate during the MBA besides PMP.
Sure. And I think Ezekiel, between them, Ahona and Jade, have really
Yes, they
seemed to
covered
have covered off a
everything
lot there. But just
comprehensively.
very quickly, I know we are kind of up against it with the time, but very quickly, anything you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, maybe just something that I mean, we have like a course, career services course on our portal that includes detailed information about what to do at every point in time, how to structure your resume, how to structure your cover letter, how to optimize your LinkedIn, how to network, and for international students as well, what to look out for, how to communicate in the Canadian style, the Canadian corporate culture, and all of that. So like there's a course on that with videos, synchronous learning that student can go on the portal to learn as well. In addition to the in-class services, the coaching, the Ask Me Anything sessions, the professors are always looking forward for students to come meet them to, I mean, beyond the classwork, also in terms of real life discussion, networking as well. Everyone is open and willing to support you.
Mm,
Can I
that is
quickly add
a
one more thing
sure, very
since you
quickly,
mentioned the
of course.
class thing? We also have courses on leadership, communication, and coaching, which are like mandatory in the course that are very helpful for professional growth.
Mm. I mean, that all sounds like a great kind of basket of different resources that you can draw on there. Um, and unfortunately, we do have to wrap things up. But before we go, I just want to whip around really quickly, like 30-second answer for each of you. If you were to give incoming candidates, or rather applicants who are considering Smith and a potential move to Canada as well, what advice would you give them? Ahona, you're first up.
I would say don't evaluate your choice of your MBA school based on the rankings. Choose the MBA program that fits your goals and your values, your intentions, because in a classroom, you want to feel like you belong and you want to feel like you can have an impact. And what you're learning in your MBA program can really shape your journey to where you next want to be. And just having a ranking or a title, I think, is not enough to give that. And that is one of the reasons why I am at Smith.
Hmm. Ezekiel?
Yes, yeah, I would say be intentional, know why you are pursuing an MBA, and also be open to fresh ideas because you're going to be meeting people from different backgrounds, with different perspectives. So while you know why you're pursuing an MBA, I mean, your plans or your views could change during the program based on the new things you learn, the new people you're meeting, and fresh ideas. Also, you lean into the Smith community. It's a very supportive community. I'm very sure right from the application stage, you're going to see how personalized the process is. It's simplified, different from what you're going to experience anywhere else. So it's all about being intentional, tell your story, and be open-minded. Let the program surprise you.
Covering off all the advice there. Ezekiel. Jade, final
Chad,
word.
final words. Finding your purpose for your MBA will help you set the tone and guide you as opportunities present themselves. And Smith specifically, I would say again, it's the people. The community that they have here is just unmatched. The professors, the coaches, the staff, everyone, it really makes a difference in your experience. So get to know the staff when you go through the process and come to us, come to your alumni. We're here to support you, and it really will allow you to create those meaningful connections that will last you a lifetime.
Well, a big thank you to all three of you, Ahona, Ezekiel, Jade, for joining us today. And thank you very much, everyone, for listening. And I'm sure you've learned some really useful things about Smith's program today. I'm Paula, and Thanks so much for joining us.